Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Raheem Rivers, aka Raheem the Revolutionary. And today I wanted to do just a little study about knowing thy enemy, right? Because it's important. Like, we got to know ourselves. Knowledge of self is extremely important, but we should also know who our enemies are. The way I view it, like the way I came up studying and so forth, is um, when you come across a lot of information, you come across a lot of different ideas and so forth. The best way I've learned to navigate through all of that information is to separate it into two categories, with one being what's true and one being what's false. And so, like, naturally, like the Riverside Revolution, we are for the truth. Like, we stand for the truth. We teach the truth. And primarily, we do it for the youth so they know, so they don't get bamboozled and all this stuff like they've been doing to our people for generations now because of all the cowards and so forth, the enemies among us, which we're going to talk about next, that have been helping our enemies infiltrate our movements, infiltrate our communities, churches, etc. You know what I mean? And those to me are the false. They falsify. They not who God created them to be. You know what I mean? They flawed in some way, shape, or form to where they fell from grace and they not one of us. They the enemy now. You know what I mean? The first ones I wanted to talk about are the ignorant and the teachers of the lies. By the ignorant, I mean, like, I don't know if how long y'all been following me, but ignorance is obsolete. It's probably one of like the first memes and ideas, like concepts I had that I really started promoting. And the idea behind ignorance is obsolete is the fact that a lot of the BS they use to distract and divide the people is just primarily bullshit. Like race, for instance, right? Like white, black, brown, whatever the fuck. There's no such thing. Like, our race is actually human. Truthfully speaking, all of us are humans. So like people who portray the color coded BS that the race is cooked up. It was actually created by a German anthropologist named Blumenbeck, and you could look that up for yourself or whatever. But it was created by European colonialists. So whatever lens they went into with their crusades and inquisitions and etc., they could steal the identity of the people who were there. Basically, like if you look at the world, you'll notice that nobody really calls themselves colors unless they're somewhere that's been colonized. One. But two, you'll also notice that the color coded system was created by the European colonialists as a way to instill white supremacy in conquered territories in the 1700s, which is why before the 1700s you won't find any humans on Earth trying to call themselves a color, because they weren't that stupid. It took like the Romans and the Roman Catholic Church primarily was the ones who went with them. The sellouts, the conformists, the pacifists, everybody who didn't fight back, everybody who wasn't a revolutionary, probably bitch made in one way or another. They was looking the other way while all these atrocities and whatnot were being perpetuated around the world, right? And that brings us to the next level. Like we was talking about the ignorant and so forth, and the teachers of the lies, the people who are lying to folks and knowingly doing it, misleading folks and all of that. Those is our enemies. Um, in addition to that is the dead leaves. The dead leaves are basically people who are too comfortable in their falsified state to actually stand for the truth. So even when you teach them the truth, you show them the truth, all of that, they won't actually stand on it. They won't use that knowledge. You know what I mean? They won't activate because they're compromised. They're dead leaves. You know what I mean? No matter what kind of nutrients and shit you give them, it's a dead leaf. It's better off to just drop them. You know what I mean? But that's another one of the enemies we have. Then there's the COINTELPRO. For those who don't know what COINTELPRO is, it's a counterintelligence program that was designed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in order to prevent the uprising of basically non-desirable communities. So if you're not white, pretty much, if you're not one of the European colonialists and their children, and you got to be like racist and shit on top of that, because they turn their back on a lot of their own people too if they don't toe the line with the rest of their bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are a few of them. You know what I mean? COINTELPRO was used, like, basically they started infiltrating our community with people who were basically like working for the FBI. They was distributing misinformation, like those teachers I was talking about who ain't teaching the truth. They was them. Pastors and stuff in the church misleading the people, some of them COINTELPRO. Like, basically you should definitely look into COINTELPRO and its history, like how it works and so forth, because then it makes it easier for you to recognize it in your community. You know what I mean? When you be at a community meeting or something, you see this loud cat who be there all the time. He make all this noise and shit, but he never actually takes action to solve any of the issues. Like, he's really just in the way of what the people are trying to do. Like, that's a good indication that this nigga's COINTELPRO. One of the ways we cut them out is with the membership shit, because A, you gotta pay to get in. A lot of people like who's bullshit and they're gonna put money where their mouth is, and B, we can regulate. Like, once you're in the organization and we find out like you're working with the ops, bro, your ass is out, and it's that easy. With it being a membership, you see what I'm saying? We don't gotta try and figure out a way to keep them from coming to community meetings or none of that shit. Like, bro, you out, get the fuck on. That's how COINTELPRO, the sellouts is COINTELPRO. Typically the conformists, the ones who like be trying to get you not to fight back, the ones who tell you like if you get fucked over in some way, shape, or form, and they're like, oh, you should just turn the other cheek type shit. Yeah, the conformists, they not us either. Those is the enemies. And the last one I'm doing on this video, this is kind of like just a quick little overview, right? Because I'm working on putting all of these like into a curriculum to where we got like a real like workbook or something that we could take around the hood, like in middle schools, high schools, colleges, all of that shit, and game them from page one until they finish it. It's 100, you know what I mean? And then they ready for the world for real. But the only other enemy I wanted to mention on this overview is Wall Street, which is the corporations and the banks and their influence in our communities, on those around us. Like, everything from the tax breaks and stuff to the wages and so forth they rob their workers for, all the wealth that they suck out of our communities, all of the land and so forth that they own. Like in America, it's supposed to be for the people, right? But nowadays, the banks and the corporations own damn near everything. And like, even the people like who play like they rich and shit, like the bank own their house, they don't. You know what I mean? The bank own their car, they don't. And that's the problem, you know? Like, some people up front or whatever, they want to be pretty or whatever, a painted piece of tile type shit. But it's better to be real, you know what I mean? It's better to be honest, and it's better to actually look at the reality of the fact that America's economy is basically owned by Wall Street. You know what I mean? That shit's like bought and sold on Wall Street, literally. And the people really don't run shit in terms of the corporations, in terms of the banking laws, in terms of our government now, like with this piece of shit in the presidential office that we got. So that's just a quick overview of who our enemies are and knowing your enemies. And if you are the truth, if you 100, then know that everybody who's false is your enemy. And be prepared for that. And keep your eyes open and stay on your toes. All right? It's Rakeem Rivers. I'm out.